told earlier, South India's biggest press event to celebrate journalism with Yan Ram is organized on April 28th at Taj Coromandel. And as a continuation on the series of videos attached to the event, we are releasing yet another video of a journalist that interacted with the team of Just Out News. Annalisa, a New York-based reporter working for the Quartz, has been in India for the past 2 months to cover the world's biggest elections. We had an opportunity to interact with her and ask her experience and what interested her to cover elections in India.
I'm here basically looking at the election around India, so I'll be traveling a little bit around the country. I'll tell you why I'm interested in it, and then hopefully that answers your question. So I lived in India for a few years before Modi. So it was 2008 to 2012. And then after I left, of course I was still interested in the countries, a country that I care about very much. And so I followed the 2014 elections pretty closely. And I think what happened was the first of a series of nationalistic governments taking over in many big democracies in the world. So that happened, and then Brexit happened, and then the US voted for Trump, and then in several European countries you had either in Italy, for instance, we have a nationalistic government. In France they didn't get a nationalistic government, but Le Pen is still gaining more votes. In Germany, that as always, or not always, but in the past few decades, being a very moderate country, is also seeing a rise of nationalism. And so so that was very interesting and very telling, the way that kind of Modi came to power and the way that he imposed himself. And I think what makes this election particularly interesting is that it's the first test for nationalistic governments, right? So this is the very first big democracy that's called to either reject nationalism and decide that no, we are a secular country, and that's what India is, and we are not going to fall for that, or decide to embrace that. And I think because similarly, this is what has happened in the other countries. I feel like there's contrasting views in the West. Very, very often there's sort of that demoralized view that, of course we'll turn into a dictatorship, this and that, but maybe not, right? So I'm looking at it and I'm like, maybe not. Give people a chance to actually protect their freedom and their democracy.
After the interaction, we might realize that how important the Lok Sabha elections are, not only in the nation but also worldwide. With this, Priyadarshini for Just Out News.